Four Big Ten teams are in the Sweet 16. I can't wait. I'm going to tell you who has the best chance to win moving forward. Locked on Big Ten starts right now.
You are Locked on Big Ten, your daily podcast on the Big Ten Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked on Big Ten. I'm Craig Sheeman. 40 years as a sports talk show host and play-by-play announcer. I want to thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. Hit that free subscribe button while you're watching so you don't miss a single episode. And don't forget our audio-only podcasts, which come out 2 hours earlier for you early morning commuters on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. So Big Ten has 4 teams in the Sweet 16. Who's going to come out? Who's going to survive in advance? Plus, we have some coaching news at Iowa and Minnesota. But I'm going to tackle this in order of the teams who I think have the best chance of winning this week from the Big Ten. All right, I'm going to start with Michigan State. I think they're the most complete team offensively, defensively. They made it through the grind of the regular season. I know Michigan won the Big Ten tournament, but I put more weight on the regular season because it's day in and day out. It's the grind. And you were the best during the long haul. So I always like that. It seems like people want to forget that and just kind of look at the tournaments and conference tournaments. And I think that's a mistake. And every year, Tom Izzo and Michigan State seem like they're just a perennial insert into the bracket somewhere. 27 straight years, as a matter of fact. I also think it's cool that in 3 decades, Tom Izzo has made the Sweet 16 16 times now. That's pretty cool. 4th most wins in the NCAA tournament out of any coaches in history, tied with Jim Boeheim with that. And they're coming off the game with New Mexico State. New Mexico State hung around for a little while in that game, but then Jaden Akins had 16 points and a big 3-pointer, and Trey Holloman chipping in 14 points. And they're just balanced. Other guys can help pick up other guys if they're having an off night. And I think that's going to behoove Michigan State a lot. Out of the 4 Big Ten teams, they're the only ones that are favored in their matchups this week in the Sweet 16. They take on 6-seed Ole Miss. You can catch that game just after 7 o'clock on Friday night Eastern time on CBS. Michigan State is opening up as a 3.5-point favorite in that game. Now, I kind of went back and forth trying to pick the next team I think has the most likely chance of moving on from the Big Ten. And it was kind of a flipping of a coin here between Michigan and Purdue. But I do think Michigan is hot right now, not only because they won the Big Ten tournament, but they're starting to do things now that they really didn't do a lot throughout the year. Like they're getting good guard play. They're taking care of the ball. You got to take your hat off to Dusty May. He took a team that was, 8-24 last year. Now they're in the Sweet 16. My challenge for Michigan coming into this tournament was I thought they were too big man centric, if you will. You know, the big man, we're kind of getting away from that in basketball, although Zach Edey had some success there at Purdue last year. And Michigan has 2 7-footers, so they can win the battle of the boards. But usually it's guard play. And if you don't have guard play, it'll catch up with you in the NCAA tournament. But this team seemed to be pulling things together from the Big Ten tournament on through their game against Texas A&M. All sorts of facets, good guard play, good big man play, bench play. Roddy Gale coming off the bench to score 26 points in that game, hitting 3-pointers. They're winning the battle of the boards. Vlad Golden, 23-12 in that game. And in fact, they out-rebounded Texas A&M by 9 boards in that game. And I like 17 assists against 9 turnovers in this game. For this team, that's fantastic. If the Wolverines keep playing like that, if like this hot streak is a thing now that got them through the Big Ten tournament and got them to the early part of the NCAA tournament, they might raise an eyebrow or two and win. Now, here's the problem. They're taking on not only a top seed, they're taking on the number 1 top seed in Auburn. They've been number 1 all year, and for the most part. And they got a late game Friday night. It's going to be 9:39-ish. Auburn right now, 7.5-point favorite in that game against the Wolverines. But I don't know, man. You keep putting it together. They got a puncher's chance. So does Purdue and Matt Painter's team. However, and again, I'm a little surprised because they were not playing great basketball coming into the tournament. They lost 6 of 9. Looks like they're getting it dialed in just in the nick of time. And Matt Painter's a good coach. They're very experienced. These players made it to the championship game last year. They know what they have to do. Trey Kaufman-Renn, the guy's great. He just fills the stat sheet. Points, rebounds, assists, shooting, whatever you need. He's there. He had 22 and 15 in his last game. That's a regular game from him. And now here's where Purdue can be deadly is if they when they're with their shooting 3-pointers. They had 6 first half 3-pointers in this game like this past weekend. And they're tough to beat when they're able to do that in the game against McNeese. They're going to need to do that against their next opponent in Houston. Houston's scoring defense is the toughest in the country. So Purdue's going to have to shoot over them. If they don't, they're going to be in trouble. It is a late game Friday, 10:09 Eastern on TBS. Houston, Kelvin Sampson, 7.5-point favorite in that game. And it seems like Kelvin Sampson's always here, right? Always a number 1 seed. Hasn't been able to quite get to the finish line. So we'll see. This will be an interesting battle of wits and coaching. Kelvin Sampson is Houston team against Matt Painter and the Purdue Boilermakers. Now, something about the Maryland Terps for a minute. Derek Queen hit the game-winning shot against Colorado State. Everybody's all excited about this and the Crab 5. And I still have the same concern about this team that I always have. They don't have a bench. Like, they literally don't have a bench. I was looking, the starting 5 is, they got the name Crab 5, the highest scoring starting 5 in the country. I was looking at the game, the Colorado State game. All 5 starters played somewhere between 33 and 37 minutes, and they scored every point but 2 points in the game. Jordan Geronimo played 10 minutes and scored 2 points. That's it for the bench. Their bench scored 2 points in this game. That's going to be a problem. And it's going to be a problem taking on the Florida Gators. That's their next game. Florida's deep. Florida might be the deepest team in the tournament. They'll go 10 deep. They'll take their starting 5 out, put another 5 in. You won't even notice. It could be trouble. Could be a lot of trouble. So that game's a Thursday night game, 7:39 tip, TBS. Gators opening at a 6.5-point favorite. So again, I like Michigan State's chances of advancing. Maybe Michigan could get hot. I'm 50-50 on Purdue. They better hit their shots. And this might be the end of the road for the Maryland Terps. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think. Hit me up with your comments on YouTube. Agree or disagree. Feel free. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe and follow Locked On Big Ten for free wherever you get your podcast so you never miss an episode. And share, like, and follow if you don't mind. Don't forget, we're out 2 hours earlier on the audio-only podcast. If you like Spotify or Apple, you can get those bright and early if you're an early morning commuter in the car, need something to listen to. We're here every day. All of our stuff's out every morning, but the audio is out a couple hours earlier in the wee hours of the morning. Don't forget, we have a website, talkbig10.com. We put all of our podcasts there, and you can buy merchandise to your favorite team. You want to celebrate your team and the Sweet 16, get yourself some matching shirts, T-shirts, hats right there, talkbig10.com. All right, got a final word with a couple of coaching changes and announcements in the Big Ten. Very exciting there. That's all coming up in 1 minute right here on Locked On Big Ten. To tell you about Nissan. This I love what they do here. We've got the Armada Team of the Week brought to you by our friends at Nissan and the all-new 2025 Nissan Armada. Each week, our Locked On College basketball experts are picking one team that stands apart, and we're looking from top-seeded teams to unexpected upsets. These guys showcase the strength and the sheer power needed to push their team forward. So this week's Armada and clear-cut team of the week is the Arkansas Razorbacks. Despite losing their first 5 SEC games, Coach Cal's Hogs fought their way through the most rugged conference in college basketball to not only make the NCAA tournament, but knock off back-to-back national champion and Hall of Fame coaches en route to a Sweet 16. They accomplished all of this without their second leading scorer, Boogie Flan, for most of SEC play, and without leading scorer and rebounder, Adu Thero, so far in the NCAA tournament. So, that's exactly when it comes to the Nissan Armada that we like to talk about. Go forth and conquer. That's what it's all about. It embodies all of that. And that's exactly what the Arkansas Razorbacks have done here as well. So it's clear that our team of the week is out here ready to conquer the road ahead with confidence, just like you can in the all-new Nissan Armada or any of Nissan's outstanding vehicles. Take the Nissan Armada, Rogue, or Pathfinder and go find your next big adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. That's NissanUSA.com. Supply House. You need supplies, right? For your work, for your job. Get the supplies you need. And if you're into the skills and trades business, Supply House is where you need to go. Whether you're into plumbing, HVAC, electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands, you find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trademaster program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the Trademaster program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Use the promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. All right, we got some basketball coaching news to share with you. So let's talk about this. Iowa has hired Drake coach Ben McCollum. Drake is becoming a coaching pipeline. And now, Fran McCaffrey was there for 15 years. He's gone now. All-time winningest coach at Iowa. Ben McCollum is going to be the new coach. He was once at Division II Northwest Missouri State and then at Drake, and he combined his records, 425 wins and 95 losses. That's a guy that knows how to win basketball games. He took over for Darian DeVries at Drake, who had left to go take the West Virginia job, but wasn't there but a year because he just took the Indiana job. See what I mean by the Drake pipeline? So that's interesting. And then Colorado State coach Nico Medved, just a day, hours, literally after watching his team's heartbroken by Maryland and the buzzer beater in the NCAA tournament, he is now going to be the coach at Minnesota. Replaces Ben Johnson, who was let go. Medved, though, a Minnesota native and an alum, and was an assistant for a short time at Minnesota as well in the earlier 2000s. So a couple new coaches in the Big Ten. Exciting news. Sad news for the guys that had to go, but exciting news for the guys that take over from that point on. So Medved at Minnesota and McCollum at Iowa. Hey, many ways for you to interact with this podcast. First of all, there's Twitter, X at Talk Big Ten. Don't forget our website, talkbig10.com, where all of our podcasts go. Plus, you can buy merchandise from your favorite schools there as well to help celebrate Sweet 16 or your new coach. Be sure to subscribe and follow this podcast right now on your favorite podcast app. And you get the latest episode of Locked On Big Ten as soon as it becomes available each and every day. Go back and check out a second listen. Go check us out yesterday. Took that Dan Dockich tweet where he just excoriated Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, saying they're most corrupt of all time. We talked about that in yesterday's podcast. And don't forget to throw out a second listen to our guys, Isaac Shade and Andy Patton, Locked On College Basketball. After all, it is the month of March, right? So you can check them out on Locked On College Basketball on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. Thank you for checking us out as well. We got more as we're closer to the Sweet 16. We'll have power rankings in our full episode tomorrow, plus always an eye on spring football right here on Locked On Big Ten, where we cover all 18 teams. Locked On Big Ten. Appreciate it. Tell your friends about us that we're out here each and every day. And I, Craig Sheeman, will talk to you tomorrow.